Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello all students in Dروس service for the English language, which is targeted to the third secondary grade first semester. Our lesson today is Unit 1 Conversation Listening, Vocabulary of Mega Goal 5, prepared and presented by Noura Asufyani. So all of you are welcome, and I hope all of you are interested in my lesson. Let's start. We'll learn today using new expressions and idioms in a conversation. Number 2, listening for specific information about a famous person. And number 3, using new words and sentences correctly. Now here we have this picture. You have to answer these questions. How many persons are there in the picture? Of course, there are 2 persons, 2 boys. Now, what are the guys here doing? What are they doing? They are cooking. They are sharing some chores in the house. So our lesson today from this picture and from these questions, we'll know that we will listen to a conversation between 2 persons, 2 boys who will share the same apartment, okay? After listening, you have to answer these questions. Number 1, what's the relationship of the 2 boys? Number 2, what problem are Badr and Adnan trying to avoid? Number 3, how do Badr and Adnan divide up the chores? What chores does neither of them want to do? What solution does Badr offer? So you have to listen carefully and concentrate on these questions to answer them at the end of the conversation. Let's start.
I'm really excited that we're going to share an apartment to save money while we study in New York.
I am too. But a lot of friends end up arguing about chores. So I was thinking it might be a good idea for us to divide up the chores before we move in.
Yeah, I do think we should discuss that. I'm sure we can work out a fair division of chores.
Of course, we'll each clean our own room. And since there are 2 bathrooms, how about if I clean one and you clean the other?
That's fair. And each week we can take turns cleaning the rest of the apartment.
Hey, do you want to do our laundry together so that only one of us has to go to the laundromat each week?
We're on the same wavelength. I was just going to suggest that.
I really don't like folding the wash. If I wash the laundry, would you be willing to do the folding?
No sweat. Then how about cooking? I don't mind cleaning, but cooking is really not my cup of tea. Would you do the cooking if I did the cleaning up?
Sorry, but if there's one chore I hate, it's cooking.
Well, it looks like we're going to be eating a lot of takeout.
Alright, let's go back to the questions here. What's the relationship of the 2 boys? They are going to share an apartment while they study. Okay, so what about number 2? What problem are Badr and Adnan trying to avoid? What do you think? They don't want to argue about chores. Okay, number 3, how do Badr and Adnan divide up the chores here? They will both clean their own rooms, and they will each clean a bathroom, and they will take turns cleaning the rest of the apartment, and Adnan will wash the laundry and Badr will fold it. Okay, so this is okay, the division of the chores here. Number 4, what chores does neither of them want to do? What solution does Badr offer? Of course, it's cooking, so neither of them wants to cook, but suggests they order takeout food often. What about the real talk here and the new expressions and idioms in the conversation? Here we have the chores. Here it means housework, the housework, what you will do in the house, okay? On the same wavelength, it means thinking the same thing. Thinking the same thing, all right? We can say on the same wavelength. They are on the same wavelength. They are thinking the same thing. No sweet here, it means no problem, no problem. Number 4, not my cup of tea. It's a polite way to say you don't like something. If you want to say that you don't like this, you can say it's not my cup of tea. Okay? Now let's answer this question. Fill in the blank with the correct word to complete the following sentences. Number 1, I find gardening a great what? It's a great job. So what can we use? What's the word that we have already discussed before here? It's chore, okay? I find gardening a great chore. What about number 2? We aren't. Let's try again. We aren't. Look at the picture here. The same drawing. They are on the same way. So we aren't here. Of course, on the same wavelength. Let's try again. Number 3. It's a conversation between two persons here. I couldn't invite you to my graduation party. It was private. So here he said that I understand. So what can we say here? No problem. What can we say? No sweet, of course, okay? No sweet. What about number 4? This rose is, but I do grow it in a flower border for its wonderful purple plums. So what can we say? That the person here, he just likes the color. It's not my cup of tea. This rose is not my cup of tea. Okay? Now let's move to the listening part here. About a person or a famous person. Do you know who's he? Of course, he's Dr. Abdullah Rabia. He is famous for his conjoined twin surgery, and he was a minister of health. Okay. Now let's listen to a summary about Dr. Abdullah Rabia, a famous pediatric surgeon. Then number his achievements in the correct order or in chronological order according to the dates. Okay. But here, okay, a famous pediatric surgeon, it means that it's the care help for the children. This is the meaning of pediatric, okay?
Listen to a summary about Dr. Abdullah Al-Rabea, a famous pediatric surgeon. Then number his achievements in the correct order, in chronological order.
Dr. Abdullah Al-Rabea is highly respected in the medical field for his contribution to pediatric surgery and his expertise in separating conjoined twins. The work of Dr. Rabea and his team of medical specialists has enriched the lives of many children and their families around the world. Abdullah Al-Rabea was born in Saudi Arabia. From a young age, he knew that he wanted to help others and choose medicine as his career. He proved to be an excellent student, and by the age of 25, he had received a Bachelor of Medicine and a Bachelor of Surgery from King Saud University in Riyadh. He continued his studies in Alberta, Canada, where he was awarded a Master's in Pediatric Surgery in 1985 and became a member of the Canadian Board of Pediatric Surgeons in 1987. Dr. Rabea soon returned to Saudi Arabia and became an assistant professor of pediatric surgery at King Saud University and a pediatric surgery consultant at several hospitals in the kingdom. From 2005 to 2009, he held the position of Executive Director General of Health Affairs at the National Guard, and in February 2009, he was appointed Minister of Health. In January 2005, Dr. Rabea and his team made medical history by separating a pair of conjoined twins after 15 hours of surgery. This was the 9th successful operation of its kind performed at the Health Affairs at the National Guard Medical City in Riyadh. The twins' mother, from Poland, had heard of the excellent facilities there and requested help for her daughters. The 14-month-old girls were brought to the kingdom after Crown Prince Abdullah generously agreed to the operation. When the two girls finally came out of the operation theater, the relieved mother told reporters, "The day of separation of the twins is the happiest event in my life." In February, the Polish ambassador held a special reception to honor Dr. Rabea and his team for their outstanding achievement. This operation and others since prove that humanitarian assistance and medical care have no geographical borders.
let's arrange the achievements in order, in the correct order. So what do you think the first achievement, the first event here? Of course, he realizes he wants to become a doctor. Okay, what about number 2? He graduates from King Saud University. Number 3, he gets his master's in pediatric surgery. Number 4, he's a member of the Canadian Board of Pediatric Surgeons. Number 5, he's assistant professor at King Saud University. Number 6, he becomes executive director of health affairs at the National Guard. Number 7, he is appointed Minister of Health. He and his team perform surgery on Polish twins. And number 9, he is honored by the Polish community. So these are his achievements in chronological orders. Okay, now let's move to the vocabulary building that you will find some of them in the reading section in the next lesson, inshallah. So here we have the first word, okay, compensate. Compensate here, what's the meaning of it, compensate? Of course, it's to overcome a weakness with a strength. For example, we can say that the payment will compensate her for the loss of her job, okay? So to overcome a weakness with a strength, all right? Okay, what about the second word here, deficiencies? Deficiencies here, it means ways in which something lacks what it needs. For example, if you look at the picture here, we can say this person has a calcium deficiency, right? What about number 3, invaluable here? Invaluable, it means extremely valuable. It's priceless. So we can say that thank you for your invaluable help. Okay. What about number 4? Predators. Predators here, it means animals that live by hunting others, like the wild animals such as wolf, fox, lion, a tiger, and etc. So these are the predators. For example, we can say the lion is a predator. Okay. And we learned today using new expressions and idioms in a conversation such as chores, on the same wavelength, no sweet, and not my cup of tea. Number 2, listening for specific information about Dr. Abdullah Rabia, and we knew some of his achievements, important achievements. And number 3, using new words and sentences correctly, such as compensate, invaluable, deficiencies, and predators. Okay. So for the references for this lesson, we have Mega Gold Student Book and Teacher's Guide and Google Clip Art for Pictures. For more information on lesson, you have the website, the Twitter account, and the number. And this is all for today. Hope all of you enjoy the lesson, and see you inshallah next time. Goodbye.